you guys? Welcome back. Today we're out here in Reno, Nevada. We're at the Center Podium NPC Mega Seminar, hosted by Chris Minez. He's a promoter out here in Reno. Puts on a lot of great shows like Legion Sports Fest, some of the best shows in our industry here in the United States. We're actually doing a seminar here today. We got a lot of top IFBB pros, top Olympians out here. We got some of the legends of the sport. We're opening up to a lot of Q&A for the up-and-coming athletes, giving us as much insight that we can to help them progress in the sport. There's a lot of ins and outs of this sport on and off stage, and with the panel we have up here, we have tons and tons of experience, and as the veterans of the sport, we want to do what we can to give back to the up-and-coming athletes and try to give them the best shot at becoming the top-ranked IFBB pro.
Saying I didn't bring a sweater, like maybe a sweater here.
You didn't bring a sweater here?
I didn't bring a sweater. I had a jacket like laid out.
A big guy? If you need a pick-me-up, this new thermo from Super Strong. It's really good. It's got like Adventure Z in it, which is a super strong stimulant. It's good.
And what a lineup we have. Jeremy Buendia is here.
I want to ask you, Jeremy, how is your shorts going to look different this year versus what they looked like in the past?
Well, I competed last year in 2023. If you guys haven't seen the pictures, I had some custom shorts made by Vanquish, and I went with a 16-inch short, which is a lot shorter than I used to wear. Back when I first started competing, we're wearing shorts at our knees, a little bit below the knees, 19-inch, 20-inch, sometimes a 21-inch cut. Having a good set of legs on you is going to complete your physique, and with the judging differences, you want to make sure you're highlighting those and not hiding them with your shorts. So if you are a guy with smaller legs, I would avoid the 16-inch shorts. I would probably try to push the limits as long as possible so you can try to hide a little bit if you are lagging in the leg department. For you guys that do have the bigger legs, you might as well show them off and go with the shorter short, like the 16-inch cut. When I designed my shorts this year, I was very specific with the design on it, with how the lines were on the shorts. They added more of an X frame with the way the lines were on the side to bring the waistline in a little bit with some white highlights in the darker short. So they're just some of the fine details that when you get to the next level, things could help bring your physique to the next level from an aesthetic standpoint on stage underneath those lights.
Even Kyron's were good. He could have been a little shorter. Kyron's were good.
My shorts could have been shorter?
Could have been, you were 16 inches, you said, right?
Yeah, those are the shortest stage on short. Those are the shortest ones up there, besides Kyron.
Kyron.
Huh?
Get live feedback from the Olympia.
Front down pulls that thigh up to show a little bit of your thigh.
A little bit.
Sometimes don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't pull that them up and show us that.
I'll go shorter shorts if he wants me to. Some little booties, some little 10-inch.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we just want you guys to get better.
Something I've recognized through coaching is watching the younger athletes. The 19, 20-year-olds, guys in their early 20s that are trying to fast track their way to a pro card or fast track their way to Olympia. And you guys gotta understand that there's such thing as muscle maturity. When I first won the Olympia back in 2014, I weighed 161 pounds on stage. 10 years later, this past Olympia, I was 192 pounds on stage. 31 pounds difference compared to what I first competed at. So for you guys that are younger and you guys aren't happy where your physique's at, just be patient, be consistent, be smart. Your health and your mental health is very important. If you guys want to be at your best, you got to prioritize that, especially when you have longevity in this sport. We've lost a lot of people that are too young of age, and it's something that I feel like can be avoided if there was just a little bit more information and people understanding that you got to prioritize yourself, and it's okay to take breaks. There's a show almost every weekend somewhere in California. There's multiple national shows. If you aren't mentally prepared to do your prep, don't jump into it and go into it half-assed, because you have a handful of competitors that are mentally ready, that have dedicated themselves for 16 weeks, that haven't messed up. So if you guys are stepping on stage, you guys can bet that there's somebody on that stage that has been that committed. So if you guys aren't there yet, make sure you guys get yourself ready so you can take on a prep and give it your all. When do you start dieting?
He's going to dive me down in 2 weeks. So we'll keep pushing for a little bit longer.
You stay in shape though.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
I think I might wait a couple more years to get that overall first.
How old are you?
20.
Oh, you're young, dude. You got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Kyron's stripping down. I'm not sure what's going on here.
So let's start with how to pose right.
Recently, past 2 years, you see a lot of physique guys incorporating like a low row set in their back pose. Go ahead and do how you do it. Kyron's one of the guys that has been able to nail this. And the idea, they weren't trying to steal the separation a little last Christmas tree. That's all good. But I've been noticing a lot of the amateurs, guys are bending over at the waist to hit this pose. Like literally like this, and they're rowing through. And you don't see anything. You're trying to highlight your back when you're doing that. You guys keep your chest up. You guys stay upright. You guys row through. You're gonna actually hit the things you're trying to hit. You guys bend over like that, you're just showing the judges your ass. They don't like that. You're actually gonna be losing your taper. So when you guys bend over, you're not seeing your shoulders. If you stay upright, let's stay upright. He rows through. He's still keeping his width here as he's pulling back so you get that separation. If he bends over at the waist, see your butt out and bend over the waist. Like a lot of guys, you're gonna lose that taper. You're gonna lose that width up top. So for you physique guys that are on stage that wanna row through to try to show that Christmas tree, stay upright.
Go ahead and do like, turn around and do something with your hands over your head. You know, we don't want to see any of that in men's physique. I know some of the pros even do it. We don't even like it in the pros, but pose for your division.
Everyone looks good. You're trying to see who fades first, who can hold their pose in a dominant fashion.
Also, for amateurs, you guys have a limited time on stage for men's physique. You got like, what, 8 seconds up there? So try to highlight your mandatory poses during your routine. Try not to get too complicated with things. Try to focus too much on your transitions, do a bunch of flashy stuff. When you turn pro, you get a lot more time on stage where you can worry about your transitions and your routine. When you guys are doing your mandatories and your pre-judging, you're being in comparisons, you don't gotta worry about your transitions. Just get from your front pose to your back pose. If you start trying to do transitions, you might find yourself moving away from your spot. And the next thing you know, you're crowding the next guy or you're not in the right spot for the lighting. So simplify your comparisons, how you guys are transitioning from your front to back pose. If you guys want to do a little bit more transitions, keep that in your routine.
Kyron, get in your front pose. This is the one you use for judging, right? Don't do another one. We see a lot of guys doing like 2 different front poses on one side, showing the other side. Find your best side. Find your best pose. For judging, just do that pose.
Any questions? What are we doing now? Just going through front poses? Don't walk that leg out when you're doing this pose because it's gonna look like you're getting blown in the wind. So you have a soft bend in that knee here. Center your weight over this and imagine when you guys are posing, you gotta stick to your head, go straight your body out your ass into the ground. And that's your pivot point. So you don't wanna ever be moving this way when you're posing. You're gonna hit your pose, you're gonna stay centered. Now we're gonna transition. Everything's staying centered. Here, I'm not tilting. Boom, everything's down that center line. Boom, transition back, boom, here. Not here. It's gonna add to the flow of your routine instead of being that little teapot movement. So I'm gonna be posing here. As I step here, I'm gonna drop. As I'm dropping my hands, you can see my feet are settling into the position they need to be in. Because if you hit the pose, it doesn't look good like this. You gotta make sure your feet are straight forward. Same thing when you're transitioning into this pose. If I don't move my feet, then I'm stuck here. That's why when you transition, the hands are gonna allow you to distract from the feet so you can get set where you need to be. Always pose from the feet up because it matters. If your feet are off, it's gonna throw off the pose.
You wanna have each person kind of go show us a back front.
Yeah, you know, you're here. Stay wide, don't let it collapse when you're setting up. Stay wide the whole time. This is what you wanna feel right here. That's what you want. Okay, so you're over posing when you're on your back. So you just wanna pull those elbows out and keep your chest up. You can kind of feel your rear delt activated too, because when you're hitting this, you want to pull back on that rear delt, get that rear delt firing on your back pose. Don't stay soft on that. Your back pose, when we're on stage, you can see our faces from when we're facing you guys with the back. We're grimacing, we're squeezing. It's tough. It's not easy. Everything's got to be engaged. You're squeezing as hard as you can. Don't worry about your upper body at first. Literally pose like this. Get all this going first, so you can figure out your feet until you don't have to think about it. Then you guys can worry about the upper body and then adding in your transitions. He's got a great physique on him, man. Drop the hip. There it is. I even keep my legs tight when I pose. I flex my legs when I pose too. When I hit my back shot, dude, everything's locked in. Like I'm hitting it kind of like, almost like a bodybuilding. I know, Bill's like, his shorts are a little long. I'm like, what? I know. Any shorter, they mean fucking bodybuilding trunks. Let's hide those fingers. That hand, let's go like this. Everything's perfect, but let's bring these arms, you gotta bring these arms out a little bit. Right there. Do the row. Hit that row again like you do. Squeeze that shit. Pull your elbows in a little bit tighter. If you guys are lacking in your lower lats and you guys don't have a super deep Christmas tree, skip that pose. You're not gonna get marked down for not hitting it. One thing too, you guys, when you guys are hitting your back shot, a lot of guys will look up at the sky like this. Keep your chin neutral, okay? Because this doesn't look good when you're hitting back because your head's gonna look funny. So if you guys are trying to hide your waist a little bit, bringing that foot up is gonna allow you to kind of twist a little bit more on it to make that waist look a little bit smaller, opposed to posing more square. So you guys wanna try to hide that waist. You can pose here. I hit this pose at Olympia. My traditional pose is here, a little more square, but it shows the waist a little bit more, but I also lost a little bit of width across the top, posing this way. Like I looked thicker, but I wasn't as wide this way, opposed to opening up.
Right out here.
They're pretty good over here.
Face front.
148, make sure you're looking at the judges, recreate your line on the stage, angle yourself towards the judges, there you go. Brad, square up a little bit more. There you go. Drop that right shoulder a little bit. There you go. Abs tight. Small breaths. Breathe into the chest.
Nice job, gentlemen. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Hey, again, thank you guys. Definitely, we're here to hang out for a few minutes, answer any questions, talk to the judges. We're here for you guys. And again, thank you so much for coming. Hope to see you at a center podium show.
All right, guys, we just wrapped up here at the center podium, NPC Mega Seminar. We were here for like 7 hours. It's one of the biggest seminars I've ever done. We had a bunch of people come out, a bunch of competitors, and we were able to share our knowledge. It was a great time to be out here and hang out with some of the pros. I haven't seen a lot of these guys in a long time, so it's definitely good to get back up here and share our knowledge. And hopefully you guys will take something away from this. And as always, we'll see you guys next time.